Welcome back. It's the Jeremy Mills podcast. We are live from the CrawsOver. This episode is brought to you by Lovrovich Orthodontics in Seattle. Them and their crew down on Sandpoint Way will get you to your confident smile. So if you or someone you know may be interested, visit loveortho.com or give them a call, 206-525-7000. My guest today, Jawan Stepney.
What up, what up?
How you doing, man?
Good, glad to be here, man.
Just played in a CrawsOver game,
Yes,
advanced
sir.
in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel?
Feels good. My first 2 years playing in this, we didn't get to the playoffs. So, last year getting to the championship and playing now, it's a lot of experience. I love it.
Playing a pretty interesting team, Team Adidas.
Oh, yeah.
What has that done? Just playing with some high-level guys. There's always somebody very, very, very good on that team, obviously.
It's a lot. I just try to pick their brains, seeing them play and everybody's path. You can kind of see who they are and how they look at the game. Everybody looks at it differently. Some people are athletic and they take it on a certain way, and different people, use their smarts and strategize, but it's kind of cool seeing everybody come through and seeing how everybody plays.
Mm-hmm. Where do you think you fall in that? If I had to say, I would say the gritty, clean up. I wrote some other things. Unselfish, motivated.
I like that. Energy. Jamal always tells me, Coach Mike always tells me, bring energy. Athletic guy. I try to bring the energy on defense, going to double, loose balls, rebounding. Some of our bigs aren't here, so got to play big. And, that's really it. Just be gritty.
And diving into your story a little bit, take it all the way back to Kentridge High School. I'm going to throw out some stats, just bask in your glory a little bit real quick.
Let's hear it.
Averaged 22.4 points, 5.4 rebounds, 6.2 assists. Got to throw in 1.3 steals. Fourth on Kentridge's all-time scoring list. 3-time first-team all-league selection.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Washington All-State second-team honors. So as I read off all of that, obviously it means you had a lot of success early on.
Yeah.
What led to that?
There's a few things that led to that. I'd say opportunity. Out of middle school, my coach, Coach Jameson from Kentridge, he came to our practices when I was in middle school, and he watched me play, and he gave me a chance. He put me on varsity as a freshman, and at that time, there was a few guys I looked up to. But the first two guys I knew of were Gary Bell and Brendan Westendorf. They kind of gave me the roadmap, and I was a freshman, they were seniors, and I got a lot of experience that year going to state. Our friend in the beginning of the year, Devin Tops had passed away, so we had a slogan all year: do it for Devin, do it for Devin. So just seeing everybody put their all out there, and that's kind of what I tried to do throughout my whole Kentridge legacy, like the whole 4 years of my career. And it was pretty successful. We had 2 okay years, sophomore and junior, and then senior year we kind of picked it back up and actually set a lot of records. Yeah.
Wow. Through all that, is there something you learned through the journey? I always hear it's not that, not the point of taking a trip isn't to get there, it's to, maybe experience the journey.
I'll say the journey. I'll take the journey and say that the guys on the team really made it worth it. We did the same trips each year, and with the same guys, we maybe added a few, and everybody, you learn more about everybody, and seeing how that off the court, getting closer, relates to like how you guys communicate and how you guys are together. That chemistry on the court is really amazing to see. One of the guys I just played against, Hussein Ford, when he first came in, we didn't know anything about him, just giving him the ball, a few missed layups, and then throughout hanging out with him and practicing outside of our practices and doing all that, he really stepped it up. And senior year, we all stepped it up really, and that's what I take from that, like the chemistry type.
And it's something that extends beyond basketball, I think.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get to it a little bit later, but you're not in, professional basketball or actively competing other than the CrawsOver. Yeah. But you can take it to your work life, and the things you learn in sports and through basketball are huge.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you think of any times that's kind of come up in your work life?
Yeah, for sure. Something I've always been preached about, even back to Rotary when I was a little kid, was consistency. You can't win one game and then you come out and lose four. You got to be consistent, do the same things. And what Jamal says, you can't be tired of success. If it's working, keep going back to it. So, yeah, that's one thing I really take from that. Yeah.
So you kind of approach it the same way?
The same, yeah. When I go into work, it's just like be consistent and then perseverance, because you're gonna hit that block where you're just like, I'm over this, I'm tired, and that's just life. But what I learned through basketball is push through it, all those running lines and coach yelling at you, and you just got to push through it all, and it's all for the better. That's what I learned.
And we can't skip over your college experience. You just had to educate me, I'm embarrassed to say, on the pronunciation of the school, like you say you have to do for everyone. But it's Cochise?
Yeah, Cochise.
Cochise College, and Central Washington University as well.
Mm-hmm.
What was your college experience like? Was it what you were expecting?
Man, not at all. I'll say it was a roller coaster. I can take it back all the way to high school. I wasn't a great student, and that's one thing that really changed my life. I wasn't a great student, but hearing people come in and talk to me about how important school is and how important everything is, it really changed my view on some things. My senior year, I was not good in school, and then I had a lot of people talk to me. Graduated, thank God, and I again got that opportunity from Cochise, and I really took school serious. My first 2 years, the 2 years at Cochise, I really took school serious, and I did all the things that I wanted to do in high school. I wanted to, get above a 3.2 GPA and maintain it. Like I said, consistency. And, it started with I started writing down my goals, what I wanted to do, and reading it and looking at it and seeing that I started to achieve them. And so, yeah, that was that.
What went into doing that? So you talked about a lot of people you would hear about tell you school is really important, focus on this. What finally got through? Because it's not a unique situation,
Yeah.
Kids are really stubborn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. So I had my coach, Jerry Creo, and then I had Guy Meyer and Derek Lane, and also Coach Matthews. They really instilled in us how important school was when we first got there, because most of us that were coming in we all kind of had the same story. School wasn't our thing, but we loved basketball. And they kind of shaped us up, pushing towels, lifting weights at 5:30 a.m. We're all eating breakfast together at 7. We break off to class. We got to work out in the middle of the day, break out to class again, practice, study hall every other day. And I know I appreciate that. A lot of people are like, oh, study hall, but that's where I got most of my homework done. If I wasn't at study hall, probably be watching the game or something,
right.
But study hall, and then they really instilled us. It's basketball terms. They took the basketball terms and then turned it into, school terms. If you're gonna be on time. You're not gonna be a minute late. You're gonna sit in the first 2 rows, and you're gonna pay attention. No phone, no anything. You're gonna sit there and you're gonna pay attention. And for most of us, almost all of us, it really came natural. Like, wow, it's this easy. Just pay attention. Ask
Why didn't
questions.
We do this sooner? Yeah,
exactly.
I've been there.
Really, that's what it was. But yeah, that's really it.
And then you transferred to Central Washington University.
Mm-hmm.
What went into that?
I always liked Central. I heard from Central out of high school, but I kind of cut off all my Division II, Division I offers because school. I had to focus on school, and I knew that part of it was qualifications. I probably wouldn't have qualified in the long run, and so, but Central was I feel like that was one of my best choices. The coaching staff all welcomed me in. The atmosphere was really great, and they really put trust in their players, school and on the court. It was different coming from Cochise, obviously, because I had my coaches that were harping on us all the time. Do this, you have to, this is important. Come to Central, and it's kind of more loose. It's not like they didn't care, but it was definitely more loose. But I saw later that they put that trust in us as we're growing men. Most of us are grown men, and they just trusted us to do some of the things on our own. And part of me feels like, yeah, that worked, but another part wishes that we did have that harp on because we had so much talent. And I know we could have done a lot more with those teams, but Central was a great experience for me. Great guys, great people I got to meet and play around. You know, it was a fun time, fun experience. And graduating, too, getting my degree, that was a big step for me.
And then playing at Central, what do you think your most memorable night was?
Whew. Man.
I know there was a pretty high scoring night, 45 points.
That was a crazy game. Either that one or beating Western Washington. I'll explain both. So the 45-point game was that was a tough game because Khalil Shabazz was out. He was one of our leading scorers, and he was the point guard. He was the ball handler, of course, and so they put the pressure on me to score a little bit. In the first half, I only had 10 points. I wasn't thinking about scoring. I was thinking got to run this team, get everybody their shots, and then going into the second half, I had no energy. I didn't eat. I couldn't eat anything. I had a banana, and that was it. And second half, coach was like, all right, you're going to have to use all your energy. We're going to need this game. We can't lose to this game. And on top of that, Concordia, who we played against, did not win a game yet. So we didn't want to be the first team, to lose to them. So, no, yeah, the second half, coach he just put the ball in my hands, and I delivered. All that practice and counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, and I hit a game-tying 3 to send us to overtime, and then from there I was tired. So my team kind of, took it on, and yeah, that was a great experience. And then looking in the crowd and seeing my mom, my aunt, my siblings, that was a great feeling. Uh-huh. But at the same time, Western game, we didn't beat Western my first year. We were there once. Not at all. And then we lost to them earlier that year. We only played them 4 times, but we beat them that one time, and we spanked them. So that was a great feeling at home too, and that's our biggest rivalry. Wow. So yeah, it felt great to beat those guys.
And that game-winning shot, what did you do? You see all these people hit a game-winning shot, and it's almost like you can't react as the person. You got to kind of stay real tough and stuff. What did you do?
I don't remember what I did, actually. I think I ran down court and threw a 3 down, kind of sneaky, but I had to keep my composure because, but yeah, that was a crazy experience, crazy game.
Wow. Your last year of playing, what were your goals? Did you know that maybe you weren't going to pursue it professionally, or?
Oh, I've always had a dream to pursue basketball. Basketball has always been my dream. I'm still pursuing it now. I'm trying to find a place to play, but things didn't, go the way I wanted to. And then I had a daughter. Mm-hmm. I have a beautiful little daughter. And it became not about me anymore. Mm-hmm. I had to take care of her. I had to grow up really fast and got a few jobs and support her every way I can. And that's time-consuming, Not all the time you can, after work, long hours of work, you're going to want to go to the gym, mm-hmm. And then so for the first few months, I wasn't. I was going every now and then, but after that, had to get back into it. I started to love the game again the way that I did. Mm-hmm. And, it's hard when you don't have set practice, set weights, set things. It's easy to have that routine when somebody's telling you to and you have to. But on your own, it's all on you. So I just kind of really took it upon myself to man up, grow up, those work days, do that, and, go to the gym after and work on my game. And, it's just really been me falling back in love with it and really working hard.
Do you think the break helped at all? Like, I talked to Jacob Wiley, and that was a huge part of his journey, mm-hmm. was taking a break mm-hmm. and falling in love with the game again.
Yeah. Sounds
like you've had that.
Yeah, I think it really helps because it helps you mentally. When you're playing all the time and it's nonstop, you're thinking about it. And you see all these big guys in the NBA, they're taking vacations in the off season. You see Klay Thompson jumping in, pool, all that kind of stuff. They take that little mental break because it's always on the go when you're in season, when you're doing that. So I think that mental break is important, and then you get back to it, and that's the biggest part, getting back to it, because people take a break and then they can never, I know a lot of people, take that break and then they go venture off, Nothing wrong with that. Coaching, real careers, jobs, and things like that. But getting back into it is the biggest thing for me.
Is there anything you've learned from being in the workforce, as I could call it, that you didn't necessarily have when you were just playing basketball?
Yes and no. So perseverance was always something for me. Like, I would hit that wall, and it's not like I would go full force and keep trying to push through that wall. I would push through it at my own pace. But really pushing myself has been something that I learned from the workplace. My job consists of me being outside every day, all day, doing machinery, like moving all that stuff around, and it's a lot of mental and it's a lot of physical. I'm always on my feet, moving around all the time. So in the game, you get a break, you come down and you sit on the bench. At the workplace, there is no bench. You don't get to, I don't get to sit down or do any of that. So I just really try to persevere and get my mind, sharpen my mind and really, work harder than hard. That's really what I tell myself. Just keep working harder than hard, and eventually you'll grow and you'll learn from that. And you can take that anywhere, not just the workplace, not just the basketball court. You can take that anywhere.
You still find pride in your work? Like, it's something you're going to do every day. And so obviously you want to do a good job, even if it isn't necessarily what you want to do forever.
Yes.
You find that?
I take pride in everything that I do, really. Being a parent, playing basketball, being a good family member, all of that. I try to take pride in that because it's all about your image. People see that, for example, Jamal Crawford, his image. You see him, you see a guy that he's a great role model, a guy that always gives back, and a guy that he has that platform to give back. So, I just have to try to maintain my image and maintain my mental, because your body can break down. People, father time, but your mental is always going to be there. So that's what I really try to look for.
And what did you learn about sacrifice when you had your daughter and you had to, I don't want to say give up your dream, but you had to put your dream on pause? On
pause, for sure. Yeah, it was. It's a lot. Sacrifice is probably the biggest thing. That was the biggest sacrifice I for sure ever made. From going to being in the gym every single day to, being there and supporting my daughter in every way that I can. And, that's a different type of love. I love the game of basketball, I do, but your family, your own child, that's a different type of love. And I don't know, just stepping up and just being there for her, that's something that I like. That's me. Yeah.
What are your favorite moments of being a dad?
Whew, man.
Where you're just like, all right, this is, I'm home from work for the day, I'm doing this, like, all right, I'm cool now.
Coming home from work and seeing her smile definitely is one of my favorite things. But some of the past things, I watched her take her first steps on Easter, so that was a really, like, wow. She's growing. It's happening all so fast. And then the other times when she first said "Dada," that was just like, wow, I can't believe this. This is insane, man. It's a crazy feeling. It's unexplainable.
Wow. You talk about the goal is to get back into basketball. What do you think the one thing you have to do to take that big step is?
Man, confidence. I have to get more confident. I still feel a little rusty. When you take that little break, I took that break, and I feel like I lost a little bit of athleticism, and then I'm starting to work on it again. Shooting as well. You see, right now I'm hoisting them up. I'm trying to get back into that confidence level, and it was easy for me during the basketball season or anything. Working on it, shooting on the gun, dribbling, all these workouts, and then transferring it to a game because I didn't take that break. But then you take that break, and then you come back to the game, and you're in the game. Everybody's watching. It's that pressure. Just getting back into it, and I just feel like confidence is the biggest thing, because you can have all the talent in the world, but if you're not confident in it, where's it going to go? That's it.
And you're kind of being coached. You've played with Jamal Crawford. Talked about him a little bit. What is one thing people wouldn't necessarily guess about playing with him or being in the huddle with him that he talks about or teaches you or whatever it comes to mind, really?
There's a few things. Playing, I'll give you two. Playing with him, you don't, watching the game, you don't really see it, but playing it, he's so unselfish. You never see him talking about or thinking about his shots. It's always, you do this, you get open, you get an easy bucket. He's always looking for the next guy, and that's something that I try to instill in my mind. He's always looking out for the next guy, and everybody doesn't know that. They think, oh, he's a shooter. He likes to shoot his threes, get him up. But no, if you look at, like, for example, like last year, came in, Bill Russell played. He played in front of him. He had 30 assists. That's ridiculous. Like, that's looking out for the next guy. That's one thing. When he's been coaching, he's always talking about a few things. He really harps on defense, and energy, for sure, because those sound like cliche, but if we play defense and we, use our energy, and everybody else, the other team's usually tired, walking in, cool jackets on, it's the Pro-Am. He wants us to come out and we go right at him, take that cool jacket off, we're coming right at you. And we kind of did that today, but we had our few lapses, where they come back. But, yeah, those are two things he preaches a lot.
What are your favorite memories from playing overall in the CrawsOver?
Man, there was last year, for sure, Jamal threw me a between the legs pass, and I finished it, and it got on ESPN Top 10. So that was kind of a lifelong dream of mine to make it.
That's big time.
Yeah, it was his pass for sure. My finish was okay, but
I remember Mayne said something about your finish though. I have to go back and watch it. It was
really
nice though.
I don't remember what he said. Yeah, but yeah, that was cool, man. That was one of the dreams of mine. But playing in the championship, even though we didn't win, playing against Worldwide, as you see, they're pressuring, they're beating teams by 30, but playing against them and having them pressure us and kind of get the push the better out of us. You always have that, that opponent that pushes you to be a better you and play. That's what that was. And, seeing that I could step up and actually make plays and impact this game or that game, the championship game, and play my role in that game was really cool. It was exciting for myself to see that.
Is playing against Worldwide the most different experience you've had playing against a team in the Pro-Am?
In the Pro-Am, for sure, yeah. When I first played in the Pro-Am, I think it was like 2015 or 16, I played against Jamal, and that's when he had like Terrence Williams and Rob, that's on my team, Rob Harris. And
underrated.
Yeah, very underrated. But they were all on the same team, and they had a few bigs, so that was kind of like just intimidating from that. But yeah, but Worldwide is different. They full court pressure. You don't really see a team that gels so well on the defensive end and the offensive end as they do. They're unselfish and they communicate well. They're a really good team.
There's no wondering what's going on. It's like they don't have to look. They don't have to.
They know. They got that camaraderie, that togetherness. So that's really cool to see, yeah.
For the people out there, what's next for Jawan Stepney?
Whew, man. Just going to continue to work. And that's three ways. Work on being a better me. Work on my job, obviously. And then work to get back to what I was on the basketball court. That's just see where it goes from there.
Look forward to watching the journey.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks for coming on.
Of course, man. Appreciate you.
Wasn't sure if it was going to happen. All the demons out there didn't want it to happen.
I'm pushing us away, man.
Yeah, but we made it.
Made it, man.
Jawan Stepney.
Appreciate
Jared Mills Podcast.
Appreciate it.
Thanks to our sponsor, Lovrovich Orthodontics. Visit loveortho.com. Visit the website, jeremymillspodcast.com. And we'll be back.